Hello and welcome to Buildings of Tomorrow. My name is John Lester, and in this episode we'll be talking about BIM and what the next step of the BIM story is. I'm joined today by Wolfgang Haas, a principal expert on the BIM topic. Wolfgang, thank you for joining us.
Hello.
Is BIM the end of this BIM story?
No, sure not. Yeah, because as you know, cities, in cities there are buildings here, and this building model approach here is also helpful for the cities, because in the same manner we will have a digital city in future, and therefore we need data from the buildings. And it's not new. For example, the city of Singapore, they pushed building information modeling for their city just to get more information about the buildings. Yeah, with these information, they have an overview of what's really built in the city, and it's easier for them to handle the city.
So you're using BIM as a tool to collect information from individial buildings so they can make decisions on a city level.
Yeah, and for example, if you want to have a permit to build a building, you have to hand over these information to the city in an electronic way. And so it's really not the end with BIM, with the buildings. That's the building in the context of a city. And having all these data together, you have really a digital city, and you can operate a city in the right way.
What are some of the things that we would do with a digital city if we had all of this information?
Yeah, for example, there are lots of information for the infrastructure, for example, for water, for energy, and so on. It's good to know what are the consumptions, what's the behavior of buildings, Or the other one, and this was one of the key points in Singapore, they wanted to build a new canal and underground subways, and but there were no information about the buildings, the foundations, and so on. And you need to have transparent information about the buildings to be able to build infrastructure.
So similar to a building where we talked about you couldn't see the pipes or the cables, within a city, if you don't know where the car parks and the foundations are when you're trying to build a subway or create new sewerage systems, this is a huge challenge. Yeah,
that's a huge challenge. And if you don't have this information, you have to go really deep into the ground, and that's more expensive.
So BIM just doesn't stop with the building itself. It really can extend if this is a standard approach.
Yeah, it's more than can. It's really coming up here. And you see the same situation in London, for example. The new underground lines, they are built according BIM, including the railway stations or the underground stations. So this is a BIM model. In general, the infrastructure projects like train projects, tracks, and so on, they're a little bit in front of the other industries because they can't live without this information here. And for them, it's a must-have.
And if we take this must-have approach and extend it to the other parts of a city, to the buildings, to the roads and everything else that forms the complete infrastructure, we can make these benefits.
Would be very helpful if we would go this way here, and we can adapt lots of things coming from the infrastructure.
Perfect.
No question.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
And thank you all for joining us on Buildings of Tomorrow. Please like, comment or share on this episode and subscribe to us here on this channel. We'll see you again soon.